All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful yet kind of sneaky forces that's shaping your life right now. It's called the compound effect. We're going to dig into how the tiniest little choices you make every single day are actually writing the script for your future, whether you like it or not. You ever have that feeling? You know the one. You're putting in the work, you're trying to do all the right things, you are grinding, but that big, flashy result you're hoping for just doesn't show up. You look back, and it just feels like a flat line. It's super frustrating, right? And it all comes down to a huge misunderstanding of how success actually gets built. See, we all have this idea in our heads that success looks like the chart on the left, this one giant leap, an overnight transformation. But the reality, it's the chart on the right. For a long, long time, real success is practically invisible. It's slow, it's boring, and then suddenly, it's not. That crazy upward curve is when everyone else starts to notice, but they completely miss the boring, flat part, the hard work that made it all possible. So, if that big leap is a myth, how in the world do you get to that explosive part of the curve? Well, the secret is a principle that runs everything from your bank account to your health. It's the power of compounding. Here's what it boils down to. The compound effect is simply this. Your small, seemingly meaningless actions will lead to massive results if you just keep doing them consistently over a long period of time. Honestly, you should think of it as the operating system running in the background of your life. It's always on whether you're paying attention to it or not. Now, I know that can sound a little abstract, so let's make it super clear with a classic little thought experiment. Let's say I offer you a choice. You can have $3 million in cash right now. Or you can have a single magic penny that doubles in value every day for 31 days. Which one do you take? Come on, be honest. Most people grab the 3 million. But let's see what happens with that penny. Okay, so on day 5, you've got a whopping 16 cents. Your friend who took the cash is probably laughing at you. By day 15, you're up to about 160 bucks. Cool, but still not life-changing. For almost the entire month, it feels like you made a really bad deal. But then, look at day 25. All of a sudden, you've got over $167,000. The momentum has finally kicked in, and the growth just goes vertical. So what do you end up with on the last day? Get this, over $10 million. More than 3 times what your friend took up front. And this shows the whole concept perfectly. The biggest results are always backloaded. The real magic happens at the end of the journey, after you've put in all that consistent, patient effort when it felt like nothing was happening at all. So how do we create our own magic penny effect in our lives, in our careers, our health, our relationships? Well, let's break it down into a super simple but really powerful formula. Okay, here it is. It all starts with small, smart choices. And when I say small, I mean things that feel almost meaningless. Then you add the secret ingredient, consistency. You have to do it day in and day out, no excuses. And finally, you just add time. You let those consistent actions cook for a while. And the result? A radical, almost unbelievable difference in where you end up. But, and this is a really big but, we have to understand something crucial. This principle is totally neutral. It's like gravity. It doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person, it just works. And that means it can be a double-edged sword. As the author Darren Hardy says, you don't get to opt out of this. The compound effect is always working. So the real choice isn't if it's going to work, but how it's going to work. Are you going to consciously point it in the direction you want to go, or are you going to let tiny bad choices compound against you? Let's just look at a quick example. Meet person A and person B. Their daily choices look so small they're almost laughable. Person A cuts 125 calories. Person B eats 1 extra cookie. Person A reads 10 pages of a book. Person B zones out to some TV. 1 extra phone call at work versus ducking out 5 minutes early. On any single day, none of this matters at all. But let's fast forward 3 years. This is where the magic, or the tragedy, of the compound effect shows up. Person A, with all those tiny positive choices, is on a completely different path. They're healthier, they're learning more, they're probably getting ahead at work. And person B, through what looked like harmless little habits, has actually drifted backwards. The space between them isn't just a small gap anymore. It's a canyon. And it was carved out by nothing more than those tiny choices they made every single day. So this brings us to the only question that really matters. What do we do about it right now? Knowing this is one thing, but actually putting it into practice is the whole game. So what's your first step going to be?
Look, the key here is to start so small that it feels almost silly. Don't try to change your entire life tomorrow. Just pick one tiny thing. Read 2 pages of a book, not the whole chapter, just 2 pages. Go for a 10-minute walk. These things don't feel hard. They don't require some massive burst of willpower, but they are the seeds. They're the little pennies that start the whole process. Just start.
And really, that's the thought I want to leave you with. This isn't some abstract theory. It is happening in your life right now as we speak. With every little choice you're making, you're building your future self. The invisible force of the compound effect is always at work. So the only question left is, what are you building?